I always tried to conceal it from my friends. I don't think I ever told anyone.
There's such a huge stigma attached to it. Most people don't feel comfortable talking about it. I don't think people can overcome the problem until more people talk about it.
1 in 12 children and young people in the UK suffer from wetting and soiling difficulties. Eric provides information and support to children, young people, parents and professionals.
Bedwetting is a very common problem. It's what we sometimes call a taboo subject, and so it's not talked about. It's far more common than a child might realise. There is usually another child in the class who has the same problem.
People always said, oh, happens to a lot of people, but I never really believed them. I stopped wetting the bed when I was about 11. I don't think I ever told anyone about it, but I did find out that one of my friends also wet the bed.
Jack is 10 and a half and he's always wet the bed. I found it very, very difficult to cope with the stress of his bedwetting. Even though I knew that he couldn't help it, I would get quite uptight about it really. And that's when I rang the Eric helpline, because I suppose you might call it at the end of my tether. I just didn't know what to do now.
Eric offers practical ideas, information and resources to help manage or overcome wetting and soiling through our confidential telephone helpline, website and a catalogue of specialist products. Our products include bedwetting alarms, daytime and nighttime pants, bedding protection, swimwear and reminder watches.
The causes of bedwetting are now felt to be what's called the 3 systems. And the first part of that is that the child doesn't tie in together the feeling of a full bladder with waking up to that to go to the toilet. So there are bedwetting alarms, whether it is a mat or whether it's a body-worn alarm, that will aim to increase the child's awareness that they need to wake up. The second reason is there's a hormone that prevents the kidneys from making as much urine, or wee, overnight. And it's felt that in children who bedwet, they don't produce quite enough of that overnight. There is a synthetic hormone called desmopressin that can be given to prevent the kidneys producing as much urine overnight. And lastly, children with bedwetting sometimes have what we call an overactive bladder. There are tablets that can be given that damp down those bladder contractions.
How does it make you feel?
A bit annoyed.
Annoyed, yeah.
Like, why me?
Yeah, I know the feeling. When do you think it worries you?
When I go away, like people finding out.
Yeah, you worry about your friends.
Yeah.
How do you think they might react? What do you think they might say?
Because they might laugh at me.
I know, I used to have that problem, and it's not nice, is it?
When I was speaking to Jack earlier, I could relate to him a lot. I knew kind of exactly what he felt, all the anxiety, all the pressure and the almost guilt, really.
There are a lot of false beliefs about bedwetting. I think the most common is that somehow it's the child's fault, that the child could make themselves better somehow. But in fact it's often the reverse, that the bedwetting itself has an effect on the child, in that the child isn't able to take part in usual social activities such as school camps or sleepovers.
Eric provides emotional support to children, young people and parents through our helpline and online message boards where people can make contact with others in similar situations.
I think the most helpful thing for me has been the helpline. Ringing somebody up and having a voice on the other end of the phone that not only allowed me to vent my frustration and talk about it and share it, but also that they came up with lots of practical help. The first thing to do is to go to the people with the most knowledge, and that's Eric.
If you want to talk to anyone about childhood bedwetting, constipation or soiling, then talk to Eric. We're here to help.